Hello guys and welcome back to Excelsior Academy. So today we are going to do the fourth lecture from water, which is a part of Leninger summary series. As I said before, this chapter, even though looks very simple, but this is the most important chapter. डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन नहीं आते हैं. ये जो चैप्टर है ना, ये आपका बेसिकली कंपेयर टू द अदर चैप्टर्स फ्रॉम लेनिंजर, दिस चैप्टर mainly is meant for the interview practice. क्योंकि ये कैसा है, this chapter like we have learned in our 8th and 9th standard like about the water, properties of water, molarity, mole concept, right? So this is again just clearing the doubts over here. So we are doing this chapter, and guys इस chapter को just for the sake of interview आपको देखना है. I can give guarantee that the questions for your CSR won't come, but for interview definitely. So let's continue with our lecture. So non-polar gases are poorly soluble in water. So previously we talked about how water is forming hydrogen bonds with the other polar molecules, and now we are going to talk about the non-polar gases. So of course they are non-polar, water polar hai, so it is going to be insoluble or poorly soluble. So the molecules of the biologically important gases like CO2, O2 and N2 are non-polar. And in case of oxygen and nitrogen, electrons are shared equally by both the atoms, right? So that's why we get the complete covalent bond between the oxygen and the nitrogen. In the case of carbon dioxide, each C double bond O bond is polar, but the two dipoles are in opposite direction. So we get the structure something like this. So the dipoles are in the opposite direction. So they cancel out each other and hence it becomes non-polar. The movement of molecules from the disordered gas phase into the aqueous solution constrains the motion and the motion of water molecules, and therefore it represents a decrease in the entropy. The non-polar nature of these gases and the decrease in entropy when they enter the solution combine to make them very poorly soluble in water. So this is the reason why these non-polar gases like oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide are not soluble inside the water. Some organisms have water-soluble carrier proteins that facilitate the transport of oxygen. So this we have covered in the cell biology text reference. Carbon dioxide forms carbonic acid in aqueous solution and is transported as bicarbonate ion. Rather than CO2, it is transported like between the lungs and the blood in the form of the bicarbonate ion. There are three other gases like NH3, ammonia, nitric oxide, and the sulfuric and the hydrogen sulfur. H2S also have biological roles in some organisms. So these gases are polar, so they can readily dissolve in water and ionize in the aqueous solution. So NH3 आपका क्या हो जाएगा? NH4 plus हो जाएगा, ठीक है? So you can see over here the polarity of these molecules. So nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, as mentioned, they are non-polar, whereas ammonium and hydrogen sulfide are polar. And uska solubility bhi diya hua hai at what temperature it is soluble. So these non-polar compounds force energetically unfavorable changes in the structure of water. So actually क्या होता है जब आप non-polar solvents या non-polar molecules water में add करते हो? So what happens is that the delta free energy or the Gibbs free energy is actually becomes positive. वहाँ पे आपका negative नहीं हो रहा है, positive होता है, ठीक है? So when water is mixed with benzene or hexane, like any non-polar solvent, the two phases are formed. Neither liquid is soluble in the other. This is what we see when you add certain kind of oil also in the water. अगर water ज़्यादा है तो वो as a sphere दिखेगा, और अगर oil ज़्यादा है तो it will look like a it will take the spherical shape on the surface of the water. So these non-polar compounds like benzene or hexane ho gaya, so they are going to be hydrophobic. So we know hydrophobic means they are not going to be miscible with the water. So they are unable to undergo energetically favorable interactions with water. Actually koi bhi interactions nahi hoga. So they interfere with the hydrogen bonding among the water molecules. So what is happening over here is that, see, you have got the water surrounding everywhere, right? Now, when you add these non-polar solvents, so what happens? The hydrogen bond, which is formed between the water molecules, okay? Like if there is a structure in the previous lecture, you can see that one water molecule, like oxygen of this is interacting with the hydrogen of the other, and the oxygen of this is interacting with the hydrogen of the other. And ये hydrogen दूसरे oxygen के साथ रहेंगे. So what is happening is that each water molecule is making actually 4 hydrogen bonds with the other water molecules. अब आप उसमें नॉन पोलर सॉल्वेंट ऐड कर दे रहे हैं तो क्या होगा, इट इज गोइंग टू इंटरफेयर विद दिस हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस व्हाट विल हैपन, इट इज गोइंग टू बिकम अनफेवरेबल इंटरैक्शंस विद इन द वाटर. ठीक है, so this is important to understand, this point is important. So all molecules or ions in aqueous solution interfere with the hydrogen bonding of water molecules in their immediate vicinity. But polar or charged solutes compensate for loss of water-water hydrogen bonds by forming a new solute-water interactions. और इसके वजह से आपके polar solvent हो गए या solutes हो गए, वो आपका dissolve हो जाता है. See, if you see in the case of NaCl, तो NaCl आपका dissociate हो जाता है Na plus और Cl minus में. So plus is actually surrounded with the help of the oxygen atoms. ठीक है, ऐसे रहेगा. So यहाँ का plus और यहाँ का minus ऐसे. Now whereas in the case of Cl minus, H आके इसको ऐसे interact करेंगे. ठीक है, so इस तरह से आपका water is making new interactions with the solute molecules and hence it is making possible for the NaCl आपका salt to get interacted with the water molecules and hence able to dissolve in the water. ठीक है, but this is not the case in the case of the hydrophobic molecules. So the net enthalpy change for dissolving the solute is generally small. Hydrophobic solutes, however, offer no such compensation and they will result in the small gain of enthalpy. So the breaking of hydrogen bonds between the water molecules takes up the energy from the system and requiring the input of energy from the surrounding. And because of this requirement, dissolving hydrophobic compounds in water produces a decrease in entropy. And finally, what will happen? अगर आपको फॉर्मूला याद है यहाँ पे डेल्टा जी का, so we know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. ठीक है, so delta H already आपको बहुत छोटा है. ठीक है, now when already it is decreasing in entropy, so what is happening, this is minus negative term, so what will happen, ये जितना छोटा होगा उतना बड़ा ये होगा, right? So this at the end what we get is delta G is going to be your positive value. Now once you have got the positive value, it says that it is going to have delta H as more. ठीक है, and delta G positive रहा, so it is not going to be a spontaneous process. It will require the energy from the environment or from the system, but that energy is not being provided to the water molecules and non-polar solvents material to get interact. Hence आपका hydrophobic molecules are not able to get dissolved in the water. ठीक है, I hope you understood the concept over here. So even though we know that we know that these oils हो गए या बेंजीन हो गया, हेक्सीन हो गया, ये वाटर में soluble नहीं है, हमें ये पता है, but क्यों नहीं है ये हमें मालूम होना चाहिए. And this is what you're going to answer if such question is being asked. ठीक है, so water molecules in the immediate vicinity of a non-polar solute are constrained in their possible orientation as they form a highly ordered cage-like structure around each solute molecule. Okay, so these water molecules are not as highly oriented as those in the clathrates, crystalline compounds of nonpolar solutes in water, but the effect is same. The order of water molecules reduces the entropy. Okay, so the number of ordered water molecules and therefore the magnitude of entropy decrease is proportional to the surface area of the hydrophobic solute enclosed within the cage of water molecules. So whatever is happening, this is what I have explained, that delta H आपका positive रहेगा, delta S negative रहेगा, so overall delta G will be positive. Now let's talk about the amphipathic molecules. So what are amphipathic molecules? It means it has got both polar as well as the non-polar. कोई एक example दे सकते हो आप amphipathic compound का? हाँ? So I'll give you one example. Let us talk about SGS. So SGS has got both polar and the non-polar. अभी कैसे polar and non-polar है? This is your assignment. ठीक है? So guys, whatever assignment I'm giving, it is going to help you in preparing your logical reasoning and the analytical. So SGS, we also know that it is a ionic detergent. Right, it has got both polar and non-polar regions. So आपको इसके बारे में मालूम होना चाहिए कि what the polar part of the SGS is doing and what non-polar part is doing and why it is important. Like both polar and non-polar regions in SGS is important for its action. क्यों? ये आपका काम है पता करना. So this is your assignment. Guys, if you're not able to get the answer, please let me know through your comments. ठीक है, थोड़ी बहुत मेहनत आपको भी करनी पड़ेगी. Okay. So when an amphipathic compound is mixed with water, the polar hydrophilic region will interact with the water and tends to dissolve, whereas the non-polar will tend to avoid the contact with the water as expected. the non-polar regions of the molecules, they cluster together to form or to present the smallest hydrophobic area in touch with the aqueous solvent. And easily, whenever we have water and you add a drop of oil or any non-polar, it takes the with the minimum surface area to expose to the aqueous solvent. Okay. So, and the polar regions are arranged to maximize the interaction with the solvent. This phenomenon is called the hydrophobic effect. This is again the very important thing. ओके अगर आपसे पूछा जाए आपको हाइड्रोफोबिक इफेक्ट समझाने के लिए सो इवन इफ यू नो द डेफिनेशन देयर इज नो यूज बिकॉज यू नीड टू एक्सप्लेन विद द एग्जांपल ओके so these are the some examples of the polar non-polar and amphipathic molecules. So polar glucose ho gaya, glycine ho gaya aapka, aspartate, lactate, glycerol. So you can see over here that every like polar, in the case of glucose it has got the additional hydroxyl group which can make hydrogen bonds with water. Glycine may be NH3 hai, CO minus hai, they can also form hydrogen bonds. Similarly with the other group also. Okay, now talking about the non-polar, it doesn't have any free where it can form the hydrogen bonds. Whereas in the case of amphipathic, it has got both non-polar as well as the polar group which can interact with water to form the hydrogen bonds with the water. Okay. Okay. So what happens when amphipathic compounds are mixed in the aqueous solution? So you have got the long chain fatty acids. So those long chain fatty acids are actually the hydrophobic region, and they will form. So they will get arranged by this layer of the highly ordered water molecules. Okay. Now, by clustering together in micelles formation, the fatty acid molecules expose the smallest possible hydrophobic surface area to the water, and the rest, the polar, will make the maximum interactions, which is going to help in the dissolving of these molecules inside the water. Okay? So the energy gained by freeing immobilized water molecules stabilizes the micelle formation. So let's see the figure over here. So you can see the flickering clusters of water molecules in the bulk phase. So ये आपको water molecules है, तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कैसे ये interact कर रहा है, and it is making hydrogen bonds. ठीक है? Now in the case of the this is your amphipathic molecule. You can see that this also looks like something, you know, आपका क्या कहते हैं उसको? The fatty acids which are present in the phospholipid bilayer membrane में जैसे present रहते हैं, right? So वहाँ पे दो रहते हैं, यहाँ पे एक ही chain है. You can see it has got the hydrophilic polar head, and it has got the long hydrophobic alkyl group also, which is surrounded by the highly ordered of water molecules from which forms the cages around the hydrophobic alkyl chains. Okay. So now see, this is how it is actually going to interact. जैसे for example, if you talk about your plasma membrane which has got the phospholipids around. So if you have got the small layer of that plasma membrane, अगर आप उसको पानी में डालते तो क्या होगा? So first of all, the dispersion of lipids in the water. So you can see how slowly all the water molecules are coming and starts forming a cage-like structures around this hydrophobic chain, right? Slowly all the hydrophobic chains will be clustered together and that will be surrounded by the water. अगर आपके पास और ज़्यादा है, so they will form the micelle and it will be totally covering and taking the smallest possible surface area as compared to the water interactions, and उसके outside आप देखेंगे कि water रहा है which is interacting. So overall in this case entropy is getting increased. ठीक है? I hope this figure is clear. So these stable structures of amphipathic compounds in water called micelles may contain hundreds and thousands of molecules. So the forces that hold the non-polar regions of molecules together are sometimes known as hydrophobic interactions. Okay? It also results from the systems achieving the greatest thermodynamic stability by minimizing the number of ordered water molecules required to surround hydrophobic portions of the solute molecules. Okay, so that is what we actually the main point I wanted to give over here is like what happens when the polar, non-polar or the amphipathic molecules are we try to dissolve in water. So किस तरह के interactions होता है, ठीक है? Now let's talk about the types of biomolecules which are actually amphipathic in nature. So proteins हो गया, pigments हो गए, vitamins हो गए. So you have got both water soluble and fat soluble vitamins, sterols हो गए. Then phospholipids of membranes, they all have got the polar and non-polar surface region. So this is how it is going to behave when they are coming in contact with the aqueous solvent. Okay, so structures which are composed of these molecules are stabilized by the hydrophobic effect, which favors the aggregation of the non-polar regions. ठीक है, तो ये basically lipids में होता है, and certain proteins which have got the high number of hydrophobic amino acids. Now, what are the examples of hydrophobic amino acids? Let me know the answer through your comments. So the aggregation of nonpolar amino acids in protein interiors driven by the hydrophobic effect also stabilizes the three-dimensional structures of protein. So when we start about this protein structure, that the three-dimensional structure of proteins in the, that is I guess the fourth chapter in the lineage, we'll start over there. So there you will come to know that even these hydrophobic amino acids play a very crucial role in maintaining the overall structure or the tertiary structure of the protein, as well as the function of the protein. So hydrogen bonding between water and polar solids also causes an ordering of water molecules, and the energetic effect is less significant as compared to the non-polar solids. So if you disrupt this order water molecules, it is a part of the driving force for binding of a polar substrate to the complementary polar surface of the enzyme. So what will happen when this is happening? The entropy will increase as the enzyme displaces the water from the substrate and the substrate displaces order water from the enzyme surface. So kaisa hota hai? Like I'll explain you with the help of the diagram over here. So suppose this is your enzyme, okay, and you have got your substrate over here. Now, what is happening is that in the aqueous solution, the enzymes are also the binding pocket of the catalytic site. They are surrounded by water molecules, right? So when these two come closer, what is happening in the first step? In order to have a reaction carried out by the enzymes on the substrate, it needs to displace the water. And hence, this displacement needed is resulting in the increase of the entropy. Okay, so आपका delta S क्या होगा यहाँ पे increase हो जाएगा. So when you have got the delta S increase, eventually your delta G is going to be negative. और जो delta G negative होता है, it means that process or that reaction is going to be spontaneous in nature. ठीक है? So this is the story. I hope this is clear to everyone. And this is a like, okay, so this is what I was explaining. So you have got the enzyme which is surrounded by the water molecules as well as the substrate. So जैसे जैसे आपका substrate और enzyme interaction start होता है, so it is going to displace the water. Okay, so that water will be displaced. And finally, the interactions between the enzymes and substrates will be established. So guys, that's all for today. This was really very interesting topic. I hope you liked it and understood also the and try to answer the questions which I have asked in between, because this will also give you idea like कि हम बात करते करते किस तरह की क्वेश्चंस हम आपसे पूछ सकते हैं. So those questions can be very simple. Like for example, I have asked to give the examples of hydrophobic amino acids. So you shouldn't think, it should be on the tip of your tongue. So आपको इतना अच्छे से आना चाहिए. So anyways, guys, keep watching, keep learning with us, and stay tuned with the Excelsior Academy.